The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Thexon of the Zephyrian Empire finished reading the human submission. His 4 eyes gleamed with barely contained amusement as he set down the crystalline data pad. So, Thexon's voice echoed through the vast dome. The humans claim they deserve a seat on this council because their mythological warriors are real. He gestured theatrically with his elongated arms. They expect us to believe in their fairy tales? Counselor Vrix, the insectoid representative from the hive clusters, clicked her mandibles in what passed for laughter among her species. Their documentation mentions something called Spartans, who held off impossible odds, and Vikings, who sailed across dangerous seas. Primitive stories from a primitive species. Don't forget the samurai, added General Kor, his scaled hide glistening under the chamber's artificial light. Apparently, these honor-bound warriors could cut through armies with metal blades. The reptilian commander's chest rumbled with derision. My people conquered 17 star systems before these humans discovered fire. Ambassador Thexon stood, his towering frame casting long shadows across the council floor. The human delegation waits outside, believing these legends will somehow impress us. Shall we invite them in for our entertainment? The vote was unanimous. The chamber doors, each weighing several tons and forged from compressed stellar material, slid open with a low hum. The assembled council expected to see the typical human diplomatic party, soft, pale creatures in their ridiculous fabric coverings, clutching their primitive technology. Instead, 3 figures entered. The first moved with a fluid grace that seemed to defy the chamber's heavy gravity. His black clothing appeared to absorb light itself, and twin blades rested across his back in an X pattern. His eyes, dark and alert, scanned the room with predatory precision. This was Hanzo Yamamoto, descendant of the Iga clan, trained in arts passed down through 40 generations of shadow warriors. The second figure towered even above Thexon's impressive height. Blonde hair fell to broad shoulders that supported armor bearing ancient Nordic runes. The massive warhammer at his side hummed with contained energy, its head crackling with barely visible lightning. Erik Thorson's lineage traced back to the fjords of ancient Norway, where his ancestors had sailed into legend itself. The third walked with measured steps, each footfall deliberate and controlled. His bronze-colored armor gleamed with geometric patterns, and a round shield bearing the lambda symbol hung from his left arm. The spear in his right hand seemed to vibrate with anticipation. Captain Alexander Leonidas bore the blood of kings and the training of warriors who knew no retreat. Honored Council, the ninja spoke first, his voice carrying despite its softness. We come not as supplicants, but as proof. General Kor leaned forward, his interest piqued despite himself. Proof of what, human? That some things transcend death, Erik replied, his deep voice carrying the weight of winter storms. That legends persist because truth echoes through time. Counselor Vrix's compound eyes fixed on the 3 figures. Something about their bearing, their absolute stillness, triggered ancient prey instincts her species had thought long buried. You claim to be these mythological figures? Not claim, Alexander said, shifting his grip on his spear. We are what we have always been, warriors who answered when called. Ambassador Thexon's 4 eyes narrowed. Impossible. These are stories your species invented to feel important, primitive heroes from your primitive past. Test us, Hanzo said simply. The challenge hung in the air like a blade's edge. General Kor, veteran of countless campaigns, found himself studying these 3 with professional interest. Their stances spoke of training, their eyes of experience, but surely they were just well-trained humans playing dress-up. Very well, Thexon declared. Our security chief will demonstrate why your legends mean nothing to real warriors. Commander Slacks emerged from the shadows. 8 feet of bioengineered perfection, enhanced reflexes, armor that had turned aside plasma cannons, and enough firepower to level a city block. He had never lost a single combat. The 3 humans didn't move. I will face all 3, Commander Slacks announced, his voice carrying through built-in amplifiers. Simultaneously. What happened next lasted exactly 17 seconds. Hanzo simply vanished. One moment he stood in plain sight, the next he had become one with shadow and silence. Commander Slacks spun, seeking his target, but found only empty air until smoke bombs erupted around him, filling his visual sensors with interference. Eric's hammer sang through the air, not at Slacks but at the chamber's energy conduits. Lightning danced along the walls as systems overloaded, and in the strobing emergency lights, the Viking became a force of nature itself. Alexander advanced, straightforward, shield raised, spear steady. Commander Slacks fired everything he had, but somehow the bronze shield turned aside energy blasts that should have vaporized it. The Spartan's advance never wavered, never slowed. When the smoke cleared and the lights stabilized, Commander Slacks lay unconscious on the floor. Hanzo stood behind him, having struck pressure points with surgical precision. Eric's hammer rested against the alien warrior's chest, its energy crackling inches from vital systems. Alexander's spear point touched Slacks's throat, held with perfect control. The council chamber was absolutely silent. "How?" whispered Counselor Vrix. "We are not bound by your understanding of possible," Alexander replied, withdrawing his spear. "We are myth made manifest, legend given form." "But you're just humans," General Kor protested weakly. Eric hefted his hammer with one hand. "We are what humans become when they refuse to accept limitations, when they choose to embody ideals rather than embrace mediocrity, when they decide that some things are worth preserving across centuries," Hanzo added, helping the unconscious Commander Slacks to a sitting position with surprising gentleness. Ambassador Thexon stared at the three figures with new understanding. "You're saying that your species actually creates these legends?" "We're saying," Alexander replied, "that humanity doesn't just tell stories about heroes. We become them. We carry them forward through time, through training, through choice. What you call myth, we call heritage." The ambassador's four eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep contemplation among his people. Around the chamber, other council members shifted uncomfortably as a new possibility dawned on them. If humans could make their legends real, what else might they be capable of? "The vote for human inclusion in the Galactic Council," Thexon announced after a long pause, "is hereby reopened." This time it was unanimous in the other direction. As the three warriors departed, their footsteps echoing in the vast chamber, General Kor turned to his fellow council members. "I think," he said quietly, "we may have severely underestimated this species." Behind them, Commander Slacks slowly regained consciousness, looked around the chamber, and asked the question that would haunt the Galactic Council for years to come. What else are they not telling us about their legends? The answer, they would discover, was quite a lot.